Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om
Waalaikumsalam.
Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, and good evening, everyone. Dear to President of PMI Indonesian Chapter, Mr. Ahmad Fuad Bai, PMP, PMI, ACP, PMI, RMP, and all POD staff, we respect the Project Manager PMC 2024, Ms. Eva Handriantini, and all volunteers present today. Welcome to the webinar Project Management Challenges, Introduction to Project Management, Tuesday, May 28, 2024. With me, Girani Eka will be the Master of Ceremony and moderator for this event. We hope this event can run smoothly and provide benefits for all of us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before starting to this event, there will be a brief introduction from the event team to explain what is PMC and some other announcement. Okay, event team, are you ready today?
Okay, we are ready.
Okay, event team, the time is yours.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, everyone. Okay, first of all, let me introducing myself to you. My name is Dedi Asana Wijaya. Here, I'm as a representative of the PMC 2024 Event Division, and I will briefly explain about PMC 2024. Okay. First, next. Okay, next, sir. Okay, what is PMC? PMC or Project Management Challenge is an annual competition from PMI Chapter Indonesia that makes students learn about how to be a good project manager with project management knowledge. And we can see the picture beside is some documentation on PMC 2024, 2023, sorry, which was held in Surabaya. Okay, next. Okay, and for PMC 2024, the main theme is smart tourism, exploring solution for sustainable development goals. And next, for sub-themes that can be used by participants are from the following 17 SDGs and are allowed and a team are allowed to take one SDG sub-theme. Next. Okay, now I want to tell you about the flow of PMC 2024, starting from registration till reach the final round. Okay, first is register an account. Register an account which is carried out by the team leader. So only one person registers on the website PMC at pmc.pmi-indonesia-chapter.org. And after successful doing a registration, the next flow is to log in into the PMC 2024 website using the email and password that has been registered before. And the third step is to fill in the data of each group member by the team leaders. In this phase, the team leader is also required to upload a recommendation letter from their university. After step 3 has been successfully, then the register team can upload the abstract. And for more information about abstract, you can access the General Guidebook of PMC 2024. Okay, now is announcement of the abstract, which means the 5 step of this flow. Announcement of the abstract will be sent via email team leader. So for team leader, please stand by on your email for the announcement of abstract, because we will send about your result about your abstract in each team leader email. Okay, next. All right. Now is a payment for register. Ah. Okay, well, maybe many people think that before uploading an abstract, it must be required to make a payment first. But here, the payment is made after the announcement of the abstract has passed. So after you have retrieved the announcement of your abstract, which means you need to be your abstract need to be successful, so you can doing payment after that. After payment is success, the team can submit the MPMP. Nah, based on the abstract that has been uploaded in the previous step. So your abstract and your MPMP is need to relevant. You cannot make MPMP that having a different with your abstract. Okay, next up is the finalist announcement. No, back, sir. Next, no, hope. Okay, at the finalist announcement, uh, come back again like abstract announcement. The announcement will be sent by email team leader. So the team leader need to be standby by your email. Don't turn off your email. So because your finalist announcement about MPMP will be shared in your email. Okay, the sixth step is the grand final payment. After you finalizing the payment, your team should submit PowerPoint and short video, maximal 10 minutes for the short video. And the short video is based on your MPMP project. And the last is grand final. Now, after you have doing a payment for grand final, you have secure your place as a finalist of PMC 2024 will be held in Malang 2024. Next. Okay, this is what grand final of PMC 2024. The grand final will be held on 3 days, on at 28 until 30 September 2024. The first day is MPMP presentation that you have upload before, and the second day is field trip. You need to doing an observation about the location, and you need to make a report of presentation, which means you need to make a MPMP again. And the last day is a cultural exchange, and this in the last day you will presentation about your MPMP that you have created before in the based the data on the field trip. And the last day is the announcement of the winner of PMC 2024. Next. Okay. This is I have for some announcement about PMC 2024. The first is the about the guideline. You can access the guideline in the website of PMC 2024, which can access by feature download file in the header of the website. Next. Okay, announcement one. Announcement one is next. It's a cashback time. Okay, next. Okay, cashback time will and we will give the cashback to registrants who make payment from 28 May to 7 June 2024. Which having the cashback is 50,000 per team, 50,000 rupiah per team. So for you that following this this webinar. So you have you have a cashback. You have a cashback if you're doing a payment from 20 May until 7 June 2024. Next. This is announcement 2. Next. Okay, the abstract is extended from 7 June 2024 until and changed to until 25 June 2024. Next. Okay, this is announcement 3, and this is so important for you guys that have joined the PMC 2024 as a participant. Next. Okay, the finalists of PMC 2022 and 2023 are prohibited from registering as PMC 2024 participant. So you have guys that have passed to 2022 and 2023 finalist PMC. So you have been to PMC 2024 as a participant. Next. Okay, and also for the uh, participant of PMC 2024, it is prohibited to put campus attributes such as logos and the name on the all competition document. For example, it is MPMP abstract, so you don't have to put any identity of your campus and at your competition document. And we have some exception for all for campus recommendation letter. We have allowed to put your data from your campus into the letters. Next. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. My time is end, so I give back to Master of Ceremony Gerani Eka. Time is yours. Thank you everyone. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you for Mr. Dedik Hasana from event team about the materials and introduction with announcement event today's. Okay, we move to next session. We have a photo together. So all of volunteer, please prepare yourself first and don't forget open your camera. Okay. Wow, so have a lot of people in here to join webinar project management challenges today. Okay. Okay, ready? Can you give me sign is like jempol? Okay. Okay, operator, can you screen for us? Ready? And count down in a 3, 2, 1. Okay, one again. 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you for all volunteers in here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hit to the next event. We have a testimonial from finalist PMC 2023, Mr. Octavian Pratama Putra Alfarisi. Okay, Mr. Octavian, can you hear my voice?
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Can you hear my voice too?
Okay, Mr. Octavian, how are you today?
I'm fine. Is it clear to
Please?
hear my voice?
Yeah, I can hear your voice.
Okay.
Oh yeah, for your information of all volunteer in here, Mr. Octavian is the winner of last year PMC 2023 competition. Let's clap.
Thank you, thank you.
Okay. And I see it, your shine. I see it, your deep soul is like the winner people. Oh, I hope you can motivate all volunteer in here. So, Mr. Octavian, are you ready today?
Of course.
Okay, Mr. Octavian, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you for inviting me to share about good experience in Project Management Challenge 2023. Hello, everyone. My name is Octavian Pratama Putra Alfarisi. Let me share my winning experience in PMC 2023. Participating in the PMC 2023 has been a transformative experience that significant contribute to both my personal and professional development. The challenge played a pivotal role in strengthening my ideation skills. Just crafting a winning proposal demanded not only creativity but also deep understanding of real-world challenge. Actually, the last theme was smart city. So through this process, I demonstrate my ability to conceptual innovation solution that are not just visionary but also practically feasible. This strengthening of ideation is invaluable not just for project management challenge but for any aspect of problem solving in both personal and professional spheres. My passion for project management was given substantial boost for this event. Engaging in the challenge allow me to immerse myself and my team in the managing complex project. The hands-on experience reinforced my commitment to this field, and the collaborative nature of the challenge sharpened my teamwork and leadership skills. This experience was not just a competition victory, it was a journey of self-discovery, affirming and intensifying my passion for project management. On the professional front, the Project Management Challenge 2023 was a springboard for skill development crucial for my future career. The constructive feedback from industry expert and exposure to cutting-edge project management methodologies expand my knowledge base. This experience is not just a competition win, it's in investment in my professional toolkit, just like using Microsoft Project or Oracle Primavera to implementation to project implementation. The lesson learned and skill acquired are directly applicable to the challenge of the ever-evolving project management landscapes, making me better equipped for the demands for my future career. Working as a team in Project Management Challenge 2023 was like fitting puzzle pieces together to create a bigger picture. Let me break down how our teamwork contribute to our success and the key lessons we learned. Firstly, we as a team divided tasks according to each team members' expertise, just like my friends took charge of project risk and scope management, project stakeholder management, and project scheduling. And then talk about the lesson we learned. One crucial lesson was about trusting our team's ability. Each member brought something unique to the table. By relying on each other's strength, we create a stronger and more capable team. Trust was the glue that held everything together. Another lesson was the importance of discussion especially when there were different opinions. We realized the diverse perspective could lead to better ideas and solutions. So we made it a point to listen each other, discuss our thoughts, and find a common ground. It wasn't always easy, but it was definitely worth it. Time management was also a big lesson. We had limited time to put together our proposal, so we had to be smart about how we use every minute. We learned to priority, prioritize tasks, set realistic deadlines, and work efficiently. It was a crash course in managing time under pressure, and it showed us the importance of planning and sticking to a schedule. In a nutshell, our teamwork was like well choreographed, where each member played a crucial role, trusting in each other, embracing the different opinions, and managing our time effectively were the key lessons we took away from PMC 2023. It wasn't about winning, it was about the journey and the lessons that will stick with us in future projects. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to Mr. Octavian for testimonial today. We hope all volunteer in here can be motivated to join and to be winner in this year. Okay, thank you, Mr. Octavian. Give a clap to Mr. Octavian. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we enter the main event, which is the presentation and Q&A session. The material that will be explained today is about a project management from the President of PMI Indonesian Chapter, Mr. Ahmad Fuad Bai, PMP, PMI, ACP, PMI, RMP. Before that, this is a important announcement. Please pay attention because there will be a prize if you can give the best question and will be chosen directly by the speaker. So I can repeat again. This is very important announcement. Please pay attention because there will be a prize if you can give the best question and will be chosen directly by the speaker. Okay, let me say Mr. Ahmad Fuad Bai. Hello, good evening, Mr.
Good evening.
Okay, how are you today, Mr.?
I'm fine, thank you. And very exciting
Okay,
to see young guns in the area of project management.
okay. I see your smile today, Mr. Okay, Mr. Ahmad Fuad Bai, are you ready today?
Yes, I am
Okay.
ready.
Okay, Mr. Ahmad, the time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Gerani Eka. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening, participants and participants to be, all the committees, Mbak Eva as the project manager of PMC 2024, Mas Sigit as the vice president branch of PMI in this chapters. Welcome to the first webinar. This is the first webinar as part of the series event toward the PMC 2024. And I would like to take the opportunity to thank the committee for their extraordinary effort in organizing this event. And also the theme for this webinar is aligned with the main theme of this year, PMC. Yeah. So allow me to start sharing my screen. Okay. Anybody can see my screen?
Yes, sir, I can see your presentation.
Okay. So we will going to discuss a very important topics. Why I said that? Because the participants, as a participants, you're going to submit a mini project management plan. And therefore, you have to understand what is project and what is project management. So that's why we decided to call tonight webinar as an introduction to project management. So, what is the importance of project management? Well, even though it's debatable, project management has become increasingly important in the world of business and industry over the past few decades. And with the rise of complex projects involving multiple stakeholders, global supply chains, and the rapidly changing technology, project management has become a critical skills for organization to successfully deliver projects on time, on budget, and to the exact required quality standard. So, Mike DePrisco, he is the Chief Operating Officer of Project Management Institute. So PMI is not Palang Merah Indonesia, it stands for Project Management Institute, the organizations, the mother organization that held this event. On his foreword on a journal published by PMI at 2022, which is called Global Megatrends 2022, he wrote, and I quote, "Organizations have long turned to project managers and professionals with project skills to help them turn ideas into reality." So it starts from the idea, and it is the task of the project managers to turn the ideas into reality. Furthermore, he said that project professionals, of course, are born change makers. So those of you who decided project management as part of your careers, and therefore choose project managers as your title, you are a born change makers. Now, before we go further into more detail about the material, let me showcase you several real case in the area of project management from several countries. Okay, and I will present to you 3 favorites case study. And the first one, they call it as Kraftstovsky Stadium. You might know it in their other name, which is St. Petersburg Stadium. So this is the stadium that held the opening and the closing of World Cup in 2018. So it was started sometime in 2005, whereby the Soviet federations, they won the bidding, to become the host of 2018 World Cup. Okay, so the government of Russia at the time, they decided to build a brand new soccer stadium in St. Petersburg, and therefore the stadium is called St. Petersburg Stadium, or the local will prefer to say it or to name it as Kraftstovsky Stadium. So they start the construction around 2007, and it was allocated around 260 something million US dollar, to construct the stadium. And surprisingly, even though they promised that the stadium will finish within 2 years, which is 2009, it continues until 2017. And by the 2016, whereby the FIFA conducted, a regular audit, it found out that it was already astonishing 500 something percent late, and around 500 or almost 600% over budget. So if you can see the timeline here, which they change over the course of time, by the December 2016, it was already more than 500% late. And if you see the next slide, which is the budget, started from allocated 268 million, it goes up to 1.7 billion, more than or almost 600% over budget. So what is the root cause of this problem? Of course, there are a lot of issues, a lot of things, And if you see the titles of the project, corruptions, yeah, but the basic question is why the corruption exists within this mega project. So the answer is very, very simple. And for some reason, for me, I think it's surprisingly shocking. Why? The basic problem, the root cause of the problem of this project, it was because the sudden death of the architect. His name was Kisho Kurokawa. Yeah. And after his death, apparently nobody bothered to translate the blueprints from Japanese to, let's say, not even English, not even Russia. And therefore, everybody who works within this project, they work with their own assumption. They work with their own document. In other words, there is no single document that can be understood by everybody who work within the project. Even though the project is finished, yeah, by 2018, or early, I think almost several months before the opening of the FIFA. But if I may compare it with Juventus Stadium, which was constructed within only 2 years, with the budget only 170 million, Krestovsky, which was built 5 times more than Juventus Stadium and 5 times more budget, the result is you can see it by yourself. You can Google it by yourself. Yeah. So the construction or the stadium was finished and can be using for the event, but in terms of budget, in terms of time, it was disastrous. Okay. Now, the second example. This is also my favorite one. Ashgabat Airport at Turkmenistan. It's very beautiful airport with a very beautiful what they call facade. Yeah, it's like Falcon because their their state idol is a falcon. So the Turkmenistan government, they decided to build this new airport, this sophisticated airport, to attract tourism, to increase the amount of tourism to their country. Okay, this airport was constructed, was built on time, on budget. However, I think up to now, up to today, yeah, the objective of why they decide to have the airport, that is to increase the tourism, is not in place yet. Why? Because up to today, the Turkmenistan airline, even though they have their own website, they cannot sell a ticket. So you still need to find a ticket to go to Turkmenistan through travel agent. And if I'm mistaken, if you want to go to Turkmenistan, you have to take several layover to several countries. So it took more than 30 hours, if I'm mistaken. The next problem is Turkmenistan is considered as the most expensive and hard to get visa. Yeah, so to obtain the visa to Turkmenistan is very expensive, and it's also hard to get, or if I may say, it's almost impossible to obtain a visa. And then let's say you have the visa, you have the ticket, and then you fly to Turkmenistan, to Ashgabat successfully. Once you landed in Ashgabat airport, you cannot rent a car to the city. And even though if you can arrive at the city, you cannot walk freely with your camera. So photographing is strictly prohibited. Okay. Not to mention the internet access. Yeah, it's very limited. and almost all social media are blocked. So how can you expect tourists will come to this country if other infrastructures, other supporting facilities are not well managed by the government? That's the second project. The third one, it's Ibaraki Airport in Japan. Yeah, they call it as an airport without the plan. So the airport also finished on time, on budget. Yeah, but neither Airport Airways or Japan Airlines or other low-cost carrier airlines plan to use it. Why? Because it's too far from Tokyo. I think around 160 kilometers from Tokyo. And there is no transportation solution from the airport to Tokyo. And therefore, no features low-cost carrier airlines would like to use the airport. It's very interesting. Yeah. So I'm not saying that those three projects, they don't use project management. I believe they use project management. But in my opinion, they don't use it properly. They don't use the best practice. They don't use it properly. And project management just using in the silo mode. Okay, that's my personal opinion. So we come to the importance of project management. Why is it very, very important? Because the project management involve the application of specific concept, principle, and technique, yeah, to manage project effectively. So PMBOK, which stands for Project Management Book of Knowledge, it already stated that effective and efficient project management should be considered as a strategic competency within organizations. So you cannot take it for granted. Yeah, because project management nowadays become critical for organization because it will provide a framework for delivering project effectively and efficiently. Yeah. So why is it important? Okay. Even though you can argue in many ways, but from the organization point of view, by utilizing project management, yeah, in a proper manner, it will tie the project result to business goals. That's the first point. We would like to tie the project results to business goals, because the case of three projects that I just presented to you, between the business goals and the project result, there is no connections whatsoever. Yeah, in the case of Krzyzewski, the project is over budget, over time, yeah, and the corruption, it's so crazy in there. In case of Ashgabat, the result, the project itself does not support the business goal, which is to increase the tourism. The same case goes to Ibaraki Airport. Second one, to respond to the impact of business environment changes on project. For example, the Krzyzewski Stadium. The death of the project managers or the architect, yeah, they do not care to translate the blueprints of the project into the most common language documents. So they do not using the proper project management best practice, which is to having a single document that can be used as a reference for everyone in the project. The third one, by utilizing a proper project management, one can ensure that they can compete more effectively in the market. So why this three pillar is important? Because at the end, organization, they need to sustain. Yeah, I think there is no single organization that were built just to as a temporary base. They would like to sustain for a long time of period. So this is the importance of project management. Now, I've talked about project management, yeah. But what is project? What is really a project? Yeah. You might want to say, okay, build a history of a high-rise building, create a dam, create a airport. That's one of project. But what really is a project? So let's go deep down and discuss about what is project. Project, in a very simple term, is an activity, yeah, undertaken by an organization in a temporary endeavor to create a unique deliverable. So deliverable can be in form of product, service, or result. Yeah. What is the example of product? Let's say I'm building a house, or I build a 10-story building. That's a product. What about the services? Let's say I was hired by an organization as one of their consultant to create a feasibility study. So the feasibility study document is this part of my services to the company. What about the result? Yeah, let's say a company hire me to propose to them a solution to some of the problem they encounter. So my proposal is part of result. Okay, it's very simple. A project is temporary endeavor undertaken to create unique deliverable. But if we take a look at this simple terminology, then you might say that, okay, my activity from the morning until night is all project. Okay, you're not wrong. Yeah, you're right. But if we take it from the organization's perspective, this terminology or this character is not enough. We need another character that we can all agree, okay, this is a project. Okay, so there are 4 qualities that characterize a project. The first one we have discussed previously: create unique. What does it mean? It means that there is no more than one project, even though the output, the deliverable, is exactly the same. Let's say you build a house side by side, yeah, exact same size, exact same color, but in a certain way, I can guarantee you there is a difference between the two. So there is no more than one projects that is 100% similar, and that's why no one can claim that they can standardize how to run a project. There is no silver bullet. There is no panacea. Yeah, there is no single way. There is no better way in running a project. That's principle number 1. So if you are the project managers, you cannot say that, okay, I'm successfully create a project, let's say a housing project. So using my experience, I can guarantee you the same level of success. No, you cannot guarantee that, because no one can standardize how to run a project. What you can do is instead creating a template using a lesson learned from previous project for your next project. And therefore, project and project management is very, very dynamic. And you as a project managers are required to be a dynamic kind of person. You have to keep improving yourself. Yeah, you cannot being satisfied with whatever you have achieved previously. Your previous achievement is just for your lesson learned. Okay, you have to keep learning. Okay. Now, second one is temporary, of course. By mean is that no project that are no ending date and start date. So every project has to has a start date and an end date. Okay, and the end of the project doesn't necessarily means that the deliverable or the result of project is finished. It can only due to the project is no longer it's no longer related. Yeah, so the owner would like to cut loss the project. Okay, now this is the third one is also important. Let's say you have a unique product, and it is a temporary, but it also has to drive change to the organizations, which mean from nothing to something. Yeah, so it has to drive change, and the most important characteristic of the project is that it has to have a value for the organizations. It can be in form of tangible value or intangible values. Now, every organization, they will start their project from value. What is the value that they would like to achieve? And the theme for this year's PMC, it could be your starting point, because that's the value that you have to achieve for your mini project management plan that you are going to submit to the committee. So we start with the value. Okay. So basically, as I already mentioned earlier, that project is the way we turn the idea into a reality. Okay. So it will start from the idea. We need a lot of inputs, and we utilize a lot of resources. We organize them, and we will engage with a lot of stakeholders. Yeah, that is the environment of the project, and then we will create the output for the project, that is the deliverable. Yeah, let's say I would like to build a house. Okay, but the outcomes or the objective, that is the value, that is the ultimate goals that every organization would like to achieve by doing the project. I give you a very simple example. Let's say, I would like to give my family a nice place to shelters, so they don't have to be, when the rain, they have some shelters to protect them. So I would like to build a house. That is the value that I would like to achieve. That is the objective, the outcome that I would like to achieve. And one way to achieve that is to build a house. Okay, so a house is my deliverable. It doesn't have to be a house. It can be simply a simple pen, yeah, a simple shelters, yeah. But the value or the benefit or the outcome that I would like to achieve is to protect my family. Okay, so every organizations, they will start from the outcome, from the end, from the value, from the benefit. So that's what you have to start for your proposal. Don't start with the what, but you should start with the why. Why you need this? What is the problem that encounter? What is the problem that you need to solve? Then you think about the output, the deliverables. Okay? So from output to benefit, what should you do? Of course, by doing a project, yeah, you will create an output, that is the deliverables. And then from the deliverables, expectedly and hopefully, you will achieve the outcomes. And at the end, you will get the benefits. Why I said hopefully? Yeah, because like the third or the three projects that I presented earlier, between the outputs and the outcomes, they don't have any relations whatsoever. let alone to the benefits. Yeah, and you can see a lot of similar project like that in Indonesia nowadays, whereby we have the outputs, which is the deliverables, but we don't see the outcomes, let alone the benefits. So you need to think from the end, then start to the left. Now, what the project managers and the project team should do to make sure that every project meet the benefit. Okay. So it all started by creating a business document. That is the end. That is the benefit. Because by creating a business document, you want to justify what is the problem, yeah, and why we choose this solution, why we choose this output. That is within business document, which we comprise between business case, that is the main justification, and benefit management plan. That is the other plan that what we need to do to make sure that the benefit or the value that we aim is achieved at the end. So we should start by creating a business document. And then by creating a business document, you start your project using a proper methodology. And remember, there is no silver bullet, there is no panacea, there is no single methodology, there is no best methodology in running a project. Okay, you can only take from previous project the lesson learned from the previous project, and then you run your project. And remember, every project, they must have their own constraints. So you have to take into the considerations all constraints within your project. You have to understand what is the constraint for my project. And I will talk about it in more detail later on. Then, by then, you create the output, the deliverable for a project, and hopefully you will achieve the project goals. That is the benefit, the value. Yeah. So this simple flow chart or this simple flow way of work will help you to create a proper project management plan and hopefully to create a realistic plan. Okay. So sorry, that's the azan from the mosque near my house disrupt this event. Granny, I think you're still muted.
Okay, we can stop it first because have a time to go Moscow.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so allow me to mute for until the azan is finished.
Okay. Okay, all volunteer in here, please waiting. Mr. Ahmad Fuai want to go Moscow to pray first. And all the volunteer in here, you want to pray first, you can leave in the Zoom and you can join with Zoom again.
All right, shall we continue?
Okay, Mr. Ahmad Fuad, you can continue.
All right, so let's continue to the next slide. Now, I've mentioned about constraints, yeah, and every project, regardless the size, the complexity of the project, they must have a constraints. Okay, so usually when we talk about project constraint, we talk about time, cost, resources, risk, scope, and quality. Yeah, so normally we recognize there are 6 project constraints, and the purpose of project management is to scale the balance, yeah, for all these constraints. Yeah, we want to well manage all these constraints one to another, because if there is a change, yeah, in one's constraint, it will immediately impact to other constraint. For instance, let's say the project owner adding more scope, and also it will automatically increase the risk because we face with uncertainty, and therefore all of a sudden the scale it start tipping to the right. Okay, so we want to balance these things. Yeah, there are so many ways that we can do to balance these things. For example, we can increase the cost and reduce the quality, or with the same cost we can increase the time and increase the resources. Yeah, so there are many ways. So this is the functions of the project managers by using the proper project management process. Okay, so how we manage all these constraints so that all the constraints will be in the balance scale. So let's talk about the project management process. Yeah, project management process are a series of steps, activities, yeah, that need to be performed by the project managers and project team throughout the project life cycles to ensure the successful of project delivery. Yeah, there are 5 main project management process. Start from the initiations. Yeah, this is your first process whereby you create the idea of the project. Yeah, and then you create the feasibility studies. You assess the feasibility studies of the project, whether is it feasible or not, and then you can decide it go or not go with the project. So in this process, the project objective are defined, and stakeholders are identified, and the project is formally authorized by issuing the project charter. Okay, and then the next step, it comes to the planning. Benjamin Franklin said that if you fail to plan, then simply you've planned to fail. Then don't forget the planning. Yeah, planning is a process where the project is defined and planned, and the detailed project plan is created. Yeah, we know detailed scope. We know the WBS. It stands for work with structures. Yeah. So within this process, project scope, the timeline, the budget, the resources, the risk, yeah, stakeholders, and the communication are well prepared, are well planned. Yeah, are well defined. So as the result of the planning, we have a single document that we called as project management plan. So that's the aim of this challenge, that you create a project management plan. However, you need to start it by creating a business case. You need to find out what is the benefit, what is the value, what is the problem that you need to solve. Okay, and then don't forget how you will engage your stakeholders and how you will communicate to the stakeholders. And then from time to time, don't forget to implement and monitor and controlling your project. So during the implementation, or we call it as an execution, this is the phase where you done the actual work, yeah, that needs to be carried out. So in this project, the project team implement the whatever written down in the project management plan and produce the project deliverables. And then during the monitoring and controlling, it will involve tracking the progress, measuring the performance, making any necessary adjustment as required, yeah, to keep the project on track. Yeah, so you control your scope, you control schedule, you control your cost. If there is any change, you integrate all the changes into the integrate change control. Yeah, you engage stakeholders, manage communication, monitor your stakeholder engagement, monitor your communication. You implement your risk response, and then you monitor your risk. Those sort of things that you need to be done during the monitoring, controlling, and execution. And the last stage is to close the project. This is the final phase of the project life cycle, where the project is completed and project deliverables are handed over to the stakeholders. Yeah, and hopefully the deliverable will takes the projects to its benefit, to the value. So within this process, you need also to conduct a project closure, a proper project closure, yeah, such as project evaluations, create the proper documentations, create a final project report, and then written down all the lesson learned for your project. So these 5 group of process in project management will provide you a framework for project managers to ensure successful project delivery. Yeah, and this process is not a one-way process. It's an iterative process. Yeah, and as a project managers and project team, you may revisit and adjust your plan. You may adjust and revisit your deliverable. Yeah, throughout the project life cycle to ensure the project success. So the effective project management process, yeah, is very, very critical to delivering project, yeah, on time, on budget, and on the required quality standards. So that's the goal of the using proper project management. So that is the end of my presentations. It's a Q&A time, so I will be more than happy to receive any question should one arise. Thank you.
Okay, now we enter the question and answer session. For those who wish to ask, please use reaction raise hand and state the name and origin of your institution before you asking. Okay, for first, Muhammad Sultan Sukri.
What is the methodology? I mean, one question at a time and then I respond, or
Is it clear enough?
sorry?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, continue, sir. It's okay.
Sorry, Muhammad Sultan, you can continue for your question.
Okay, thank you.
Mbak Gerani, please wait. Mbak Gerani,
Okay, sorry.
Mas Fuad nanya, how about the regulation for the question and answer? The first question and then the Mr. Fuad will be answering, or we will wait until the 1, 2, 3 question first, or what about the rules? You can explain it.
For this section, it's just a 1 by 1 first. So 1 question, 1 answer.
Okay. May I continue? Okay, thank you for the opportunity for asking.
Sorry, I have a problem with the connection. What was the question? Sorry.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity for asking, Mr. Fuad. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sultan Ahmad Sukri. From the previous presentation, You say that project management is built or execute, or if we want to execute a project first on budget, and second is on time, and the third is how we keep it in constraint project, right? From the three example of the popular case in the project manager, challenging might be talking about how the project have an issues after corruption effect. I think from the last three was the popular thing. Maybe they make how to because making the budget is overrated to the maximum level, but I think it is too sentimental when we trying to solve a social issue, sir. I mean, how, for example, things to corruption effect maybe, and I think it's too sentimental to the government too. If you want to solve it, and it is too, I think it's too many variable things to mix, because it's on social issues. I mean, how to solve an corruption that. And I agree what you say that there is no silver bullet to solve it, sir. But I mean, my question is, how about if talking about social issues that we want to talking about social issues, that is the output that we can balance of all the 6 project constraints that you said about time, cost, and the quality, and how to make it's really on scope. That's my question, maybe. Because I don't want I'm still in confusing in understanding about what is the output of this project management challenge. Is it just only of the one POV about the organization POV, one thing perspective, or is there any perspective, I mean, on scope? That's my question, Mr. Fuad. Thank you for your attention.
All right. So if you remember, I mentioned several times that we as a project managers and the organization, they have to start thinking not from the what. The what is the output, the deliverables, but start from the why. The why is the benefit, the value that you would like to achieve. And to achieve or to get to the why, you have to know what is the problem. What sort of problem that now exists within your organization? For example, let's assume that I am the owner of a textile company, okay? And the regulations of the local government, it required me to have a, some sort of system to ensure that all the waste, all the water waste, before released to the local river or local lake, it already relatively free from any contamination. Okay, so the local government required me to have those kind of facility. Then I will create a project on how to manage the wastewater on my productions, so that all the water that will goes to the river or goes to the lake, they all will comply with the local government standard. So the goal is to achieve local government consent. Okay, so you can see it is this never my intention to create the wastewater management, but the local city government required me to comply with a certain standard of the waste, and therefore I have to create a system. So it can be not necessarily have to build a wastewater management. It can be in form of others. Okay, so you need to start with the value, the benefit that you would like to achieve due to the what are the problems that you need to solve. Okay, so back again to your another question about the corruptions. Again, what is the benefit or the value of this project? If let's say, then this is what happens in our countries in Indonesia. Because most of the project, to be honest, frankly speaking, they were built, they were executed not to have the deliverables, but to serve political purposes, if you know what I mean. Okay, like IKN, like MBZ, like all other toll roads, like all the airports that have been built. Yeah, I don't say that that is something wrong. That's the reality, because the purpose is political purposes, and therefore they get rid of all the budget, all the, if you know what I mean. So by understanding the benefit and the value that we would like to achieve by this project, the stakeholders will automatically adjust the constraints. Hopefully it will, it already answered the questions. Sultan?
Okay, yes, Mr. Fuad, thank you for your explanation. I think it's so far so good.
Okay.
That's good.
Now, I think we have someone from in the chat room, Dimas Dwi Priambodo. In the short term, with the aim of collecting as much money as possible in the near future, because the case of a project that is currently underway is very slow for money turnover, which is the wiser choices? Take on another project with a short time frame, with the risk of delaying time and reducing the quality of work, or remain committed to ongoing project with the risk of slow cash turnover. I think the answer is obvious. Yeah, if the benefit or the value is to gain money as soon as possible, then you need to have to define what is your minimum viable products. Okay, Dimas? If, for instance, you need a vehicle. Vehicle, it can be in form of anything, right? It can be a simple autoped, a bicycle, motorbike, or car, or a bus. You need a vehicle to take you from point A to point B. And you need it now. Okay? But no production can provide you with the proper vehicle as of now. But for some reason, there is some producer propose to you, sir, I have this rollerblade. You can take rollerblade. It will take you from point A from point B faster than, better than you're walking. And you can get it now. So if you know what I mean, Dimas, yeah? So you have to define what is your minimum viable products so that you can start collecting the money for your organizations. Hope I answered Dimas Dwi Priambodo properly. Okay.
Okay, any question to all volunteer? You can use a reaction, okay, one by one first. For Ahmad Ar-Rauf Sulfuadi, you can ask to Mr. Ahmad Fuad.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Garani. Thank you for this opportunity. I want to ask you maybe something that was not to touch on this presentation. Sir Ahmed, as a project manager, how do we build a team and determines the ideal roles for the team member? I mean, the standard structure or standard arrangement from the Project Management Institute for the building the project team. Thank you.
Okay. What do you mean by develop? Because it can be has a different meaning. Do you mean you already have a team and you want to develop them so that you have a perform team, or you will gather all the individuals to become one team? So which one do you mean by developed team? The first
Maybe
one or second one?
second one.
Second one. Okay. First, to create a team, not to develop, to create a team, first you need to understand what will you achieve, what will you create for your project. Okay. So you, as a project manager, you have to understand first what is the benefit of this project, what is the value that will be achieved by this by doing this project, and what are deliverables, or what is the deliverable that we are going to build for this project. And then you start understand the scope and the requirement, and at the end it will help you understand what sort of resources are required for this project. Okay, Ahmad?
In other words, so this is more flexible on our needs, sir?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Because there is no panacea, there is no silver bullet, there is no standardized. Yeah, even to go, it goes beyond to the leadership style. Okay, so Ahmad, do you? I want your opinion, or others. You can give me your opinion as well. Which one is good? Being a boss, or being a leader, or being a manager? Being a boss,
I think
being a leader, or being a manager?
being a leader.
Okay. Sultan, you might want to answer it.
Maybe about maybe not for the boss thing. Maybe about the leader or the manager is my
Okay.
propose to change it, because I think the good manager or a good leadership is to inspire or another.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
I give you one situation. I give you one situation. Within the next 2 days, you have a very important deadline. You have a very important milestone to achieve that you need to deliver. But as of today, your team, they all has a lot of argumentations, a lot of dispute, and it's a very critical time. Okay. In that kind of situation, you cannot be a nice guy. You have to be a dictator. You have to be a very, very bad guy. So being a project manager, this is my favorite terminology. Yeah, being a project manager, it's very similar as you're driving your car. You know, imagine you're driving your car or you're driving your motorbike. You have to know when you accelerate in a very in a top speed, when you have to cruising, when you have to brake slowly, when you have to make a sudden break. Okay, that's managing the project. So sometimes you have to be able to become a detector. Ideally, you have to become a friend, a democratic for your team. But there is a lot of time it required you to become a dictator, that everybody has to follow what you order. Surprise, surprise. Yeah. Remember, you have to be dynamic. You cannot use only one way. Even leadership style, there is no single or best leadership style. A lot of people said, or in a general management, they always said, don't be a boss. Be a leader that lead your team. But sometimes you need to be a boss. Sometimes you need to push your team. Sometimes you have to accelerate at the top speed. Project managers. I hope it answers your curiosity, Ahmad.
Okay, thank you, sir. I think it's a simple simulation for the understanding about project manager roles. Thank you, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, I believe we still have time.
Okay, thank you for your question, Ahmad Al-Rauf and Muhammad Sultan Azukri. Okay, all volunteer in here, and you any question? Please use it raise hand. Okay, one by one first. I choose Shadat Al Faris. Okay, you can ask to Mr. Ahmad Fuad.
Okay, thank you. I'm Shadat. Please call me. I'm Shadat Alvarez. I'm a undergraduate student in IT major. Firstly, it is my first time in this event like PMI, and I have a course in my campus that IT project management that leads me to this event. Firstly, I have a curiosity about the project management. So in IT major, we have uh like IT lead and PM. It is the same role as the project management in here. And what's the difference in project management and product manager? I think I have a confusing is in the role. And then about this challenge, I have a question. This is my first time learning project management in this event and my campus. So what is challenge about we have to develop a project or develop or something? It is just in our imagination. For example, I want to develop a robot. So in this challenge, it is a real case or not? Or we must something about uh real case scenario or something that we must do requirements.
Okay. First, I would like to respond to your last question. So, the project management challenge is all about proposing a document on how you solve a problem based on the theme given by the committees by proposing what are the products, what are the results, or what are the services that you are going to propose to solve the problem. Okay, and remember, the problem is the benefit, the value that you would like to achieve. Okay, so that's your to respond to your last questions. So, what is the difference between product managers and project managers? Totally different. Okay, so the boundaries are once the project managers creates the product and then it goes to the operational guy to make it as a business as usual. I give you one example. Assume that you are working in the Astra company who create a Toyota. Okay. Now let's say Astra said that, hey, this Xenic, I think it's obsolete, and the sales of Xenix is a decline. So we need to have something else that can increase our sales and prolong the life cycle, the product life cycle of Xenix. And then Astra started to create a project. Okay, and the project is to increase the sales. That's the benefit number one, the value number one, and the problem one, and to prolong the product cycle of Xenix. Okay, and then Astra get the project team, and goal of the project team is to create something that is the what that can ensure it will increase the sales and prolong the product life cycle of Xenix. And then let's say you and your team propose a facelift, a major facelift for the current Xenix. Okay, and the management agrees with the proposed, and that is your deliverable. That is your what. And then the management or you hand it over to the production team to create whatever you propose as the mock-up as a mass productions. That is product management. Okay, hope you understand.
Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you for simple answering.
Okay, thank you. I think we have two other participants.
Yes, we
Irani?
have two people in here want to ask you, Mr. Ahmad Fuai, and one message again in column box Zoom. So we must do first in reaction raise hand first. from Fadila Zeti Dewinta. The time is yours to ask Mr. Ahmad Fuad.
Good evening, Sir Fuad.
Good evening.
So my name is Zeti and I have a question. Recently, I have a capstone project where I was chosen as the project manager, and we're currently working on the project plan. As someone who is new to project management, I was wondering how to best determine the estimated time to complete the tasks in a project, or specifically, how can you strike a balance between spending too much time on the detailed estimations that might delay a project initiations and creating an over simplistic estimates that maybe lack accuracy. Thank you.
Okay. Well, again, there is no single recipe. There is no silver bullet. It depends on the project. Yeah. The more experienced you are in running a similar project, the better you are in planning your project. So the project manager and the team are the only person or the only parties that should understand what is enough. Okay. So of course, as I mentioned, Benjamin Franklin said, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. But this does not necessarily means that you have to have a very comprehensive planning in place before you initiate your project. Okay, that's why in project management there is a process, we call it as progressive elaboration. This is the process, an iterative process actually, yeah, whereby you created just enough scope, just enough time, just enough budget to start rolling your project. Okay. And then as the time goes by, you create a more detailed plan for your project. So you just imagine playing a snowball. Okay, you go to the snowy mountain and you play snowball. You create from a very small ball, and then you start rolling it over from the hill to the bottom. And this snowball, it will get larger and larger and larger and larger. So that process, we call it as a progressive elaboration. And that technique, we call it as rolling wave planning technique. Okay, and actually, this is not a new technology or the new methodology in the project management. When I started my career back in late 90, around 1998, has any of you already born in that years? No? Come on, don't be shy. Okay, so when I was still in as a fresh graduate, I worked for a Japanese construction company called Takenaka for one of their high-rise building in Jakarta. So if you know Four Seasons region in Kuningan, Jakarta, I was involved in that project as a site engineer back in 1997 to 1998, only 1 year. And then I realized as a site engineer, my site manager every week asked me to create a detailed schedule for the next week. Let's say today is Friday. So my site manager asked me to create a detailed schedule, to create a detailed work for next week. Okay. So I asked my site manager, why don't we create a schedule until the end of the project? My site manager said, we do have a master plan, but we want to avoid any risk that should be occur. We want to minimize the risk by creating a small chunk of plan, which is a weekly plan, yeah, because we can only see, or we can only confidence to face the next week, rather than we create a detailed plan for the whole years or for the whole month. That's progress, or that process. Once I learned proper project management, I just knew it that it was called a progressive elaboration. So that's one of the technique to estimate. But of course, the more you involve within the same project, the more accurate you are in estimate the project. And there are a lot of other technique that can you utilize to estimate the not only the duration of the project, but also the cost for the project. You can use like analogous, parametric, or you can use the more sophisticated one like PERT analysis, yeah, program evaluation review technique. You can use a 3-point analysis. Yeah, you can simulate with Monte Carlo. So there's a lot of technique that can you use to estimate not only duration, but of course, but also the cost for your project. Hope I answer your question well, Zeti.
That answered my question wonderfully. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay.
Okay, next.
Okay, thank you for Fadila Zeti about the question. Now we can move to the volunteer one, Hasan Masalik. Okay, time is yours.
Okay,
Hang on.
thank you, Mr.
Gerani,
Sorry.
how many hours do we still have? How many minutes? What is the time?
We have a 20 minutes again, sir.
Oh, okay, still long.
Yes.
20 minutes all for a Q&A or for other purposes?
Yes, for Q&A session.
All right, go. Shoot. Hasan.
Okay,
Shoot
thank
me.
you, sir. I want to ask, for a newcomer in the project management in the world, what should I avoid in the designing project, especially in when I create the project or when execution? Enough.
Yeah, okay. Well, first start from the planning. Okay. So you can discuss or consult to your senior. That's why in the office environment, in working environment, there is an activity that's called as a buddy. Okay, it's BUDDI. Actually, BUDDY. It is when a junior attached to the senior, and the junior will learn directly from the senior for their daily activities, daily tasks. That's one of the good way in getting the experience. Okay, or you can consult to the senior. We call it as discuss with the subject matter expert. Yeah, have their input, their opinion towards your planning. Okay, and okay, this I think a little bit out of topic. Yeah, don't be afraid if you are not coming from a specific industry and then you are going to run a project in that industry. For example, Hasan, what is your major now? Hasan, are you still on?
Industrial engineering. Yeah. I'm from industrial
Sorry?
engineering. Industry.
Oh, lucky you. Okay, lucky you.
engineering.
Because in industrial engineering and system information, a lot of said underestimate them because they said this is a half technique and half economic gitu ya. But industrial engineering and system information, I might say both are the jacks of all trades, master of none. Yeah, you have to become you're not a specialist, but you are a generalist. Okay, it will be easy for you to entering any kind of industry. Okay, but let's say you are from mechanical engineering. Okay, and then you have a project to implement ERP. Okay, which is totally different with your core competency. Now, interesting enough, one of the competency that are required to manage a project, i.e. to become the project manager, is not the technical project itself, rather than the project management technical. It's different, okay? The technical about the project, let's say the project is about ERP, then you have to know how to implement ERP. You have to know what is the technical stuff or technical jargon about ERP, okay? But project management technical is you know how to use the proper methodology, you know how to create the schedule, you know how to create the budgeting, the cost, the scoping, and so on. So totally different. Okay. So as long as you know how to implement and understand the scope of your project, and of course you need to learn a little bit more about the technical term of the project itself, that should be enough. Yeah. I give you from my own experience. Hasan, can you guess what is my basic educations?
I can answer. I can.
Huh?
I can guess.
I spent more than 16 years in the telecommunication industry. So what do you think is my basic educations? Okay, take a wild guess, Hasan.
Maybe informatika. Yes, informatika.
Informatika, information. Okay, Ahmad Aruf, can you take a wild guess? Or Shadat?
Sam West, maybe informatics.
Okay. To your surprise, yeah, basically I am a civil engineer. I'm a civil engineer. And I spent 16 years in telecommunication industry. Not only working with civil mechanical electricals, also working for the transmissions, with the fiber optics, with the radio. And I know a little bit about telecommunication, about microwave, radio, yeah. But I know well how to run telecommunication project. Yeah, Hasan. So, yeah, the more you have experience, yeah, the good you are in planning a project. And then, yeah, your second question was what, Hasan? Hello, Hasan. What was your second question?
Hello, for Hasan Masalik. Do you have trouble with your connection? I think he have a
Okay.
trouble with the connection, sir.
Do we have still enough time, Gani, or?
Yes, we have enough for the time session. Okay.
Okay. So
Okay.
I think Hasan is the last person, yeah?
Yeah. Yes, it's the last person.
Okay.
Next. Okay. Now the question and answer session is over, and now we in announcement for the winner of best question today. Okay, to Mr. Ahmad Fuad Bhai, you can choose 3 people who the best question for this event today.
Wow, can I choose all of them? It's very hard, yeah.
So you have a 6 name in here. The name is Sultan Ahmad Suki, and then have a Dimas Dwi, number
Yeah.
2. Number 3, Ahmad Sulfuida. Sorry if the name is wrong. Number 4, Syadat Alfaris. Number 5, Fadila Zeti Dewinta, and last Hasan Masalik.
Okay, so I think based on the eagerness to know more
Okay.
about the project and project management,
Okay.
wow, it's very tough. I think
For number 3 or number 1 first?
I think I'll go to Sultan as number 1.
Okay, congratulations to Sultan Ahmad Sukri. You are the winner first
And
for
then
this
I
best
will
question.
go to Shadat for number 2.
Okay, congratulations, Shadat.
And Zeti as our third luckiest winner.
Okay, open your camera to the winner 3 best question for this event. Okay, open your camera for the winner. Okay, you can smile because you are the winner and have a prize from PMC today. You can use a sign. Lovely. Okay, we have a photos together with the winner now. Okay, for operator, is it ready? Okay, ready? Okay, I'm count down. It's 3, 2, 1. One again. With smile. 3, 2, 1. Okay, it's done. Okay, congratulations to the winner. And for the prize, you can directly contact the commit after this event. And for those who haven't won, don't give up and keep your spirit up.
And for sure, there will be a second and third and the next webinar. Yeah. So please stay tuned. And there's a lot of knowledge that you can obtain from this event.
Yes. Okay, time's up. Thanks to Mr. Ahmad Fuad and all volunteer to Q&A session today. And you can check in column box from team event to enter exit ticket. Give a clap to Mr. Ahmad Fuad today.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry, Mr. Ahmad Fuad.
Yeah.
Do you have a greeting or something to tell all volunteer in here?
Okay. Well, for those who has not decided to join the PMC yet, yeah, I urge you to join immediately. It's a very, very good opportunity for you. And this is the only event in Indonesia and even in Asia Pacific. Yeah. It is a very good opportunity for you to learn on how to create the proper project management plan, how to get along in the real situations of project environments. Yeah, because in the futures, all business will be project based. So this is your chance to learn directly from your own experience, and also you will have mentors. Yeah, and the second day, if you are you are lucky enough to be chosen by a finalist, yeah, to come to the Malang. And during the mentoring, you will gain a lot of knowledge from the practitioners. So join. It's very, very good opportunity for you. Okay.
Thank you for your great speak, Mr. Ahmad Fuad. Don't forget, guys,
Thank you.
it's the best speaker from Mr. Ahmad Fuad.
Okay. See you soon. And see you in Malang. Okay.
See you.
Thank you.
Okay, after this event, there will be still in a second webinar on the date in June 25 or 2024. 2024. And don't forget to record the date and join PMC 2024 on Telegram and follow all social media PMC 2024. You can check in via PMC Instagram at PMC_Indonesia. Okay, to all volunteer in here, don't forget to enter the exit ticket from event team. You can check it in chats. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the end of the webinar. We would like to thank to all volunteers. Hopefully, what has been presented today can be benefit to all of us. I'm Gerani Eka, as a Master of Ceremony and Moderator, say goodbye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Om Santi 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 Om. Namo Buddhaya and good evening everyone. See you in next event.